A new Britney Spears documentary features security insiders breaking their silence. They allege that the pop star was under intense surveillance during the conservatorship, which could be in its final days. A former black box security employee claims Britney's phone was mirrored to keep tabs on her private conversations and messages. Kaylee Hartung has the latest for us.
In a new bombshell documentary, the New York Times presents Controlling Britney Spears. Insiders are speaking out about the intense surveillance system that they say was ordered to closely monitor the pop star during her 13-year conservatorship.
Her phone, her own phone, and her own private conversations were used so often to control her.
In the documentary, a former employee of Black Box Security, Alex Vlasov, alleges Britney's iPhone was mirrored so they could keep tabs on her private conversations and much more.
You would be able to see all messages, all FaceTime calls, notes, browser history, photographs. They would also monitor conversations with her friends, with her mom, with her lawyer, Sam Ingham.
The Times reporting that mirroring text messages without the consent of both parties could be a violation of the law, and that it is unclear if the court knew about or had approved any text message monitoring. Vlasov also claiming the security firm put an audio recording device in her bedroom.
When I took a step back and I looked at everything, it really reminded me of somebody that was in prison. And security was put in a position to be the prison guards, essentially.
Court records obtained by the Times show that Spears quietly pushed to end her conservatorship for years and told a judge in a closed-door hearing in 2019 that she felt coerced to perform and to enter a mental health treatment facility against her will. This summer, after publicly testifying for the first time in court, Spears was allowed to hire a new attorney, former federal prosecutor Matthew Rosengart. Rosengart telling ABC News overnight unauthorized recording or monitoring of Britney's communications represent an unconscionable and disgraceful violation of her privacy rights, adding placing a listening device in Britney's bedroom would be particularly horrifying and corroborates so much of her compelling, poignant testimony. In response to the allegations in the documentary, a lawyer for the head of Black Box told ABC News, Mr. Yemeni and Black Box Security have a strict policy against discussing matters concerning their clients or their operations. But Mr. Yemeni and Black Box have always conducted themselves within professional, ethical, and legal bounds, and they are particularly proud of their work in keeping Ms. Spears safe for many years. And an attorney for Jamie Spears telling ABC News in part, Jamie loves Britney unwaveringly and wants only the best for her. All of his actions were well within the parameters of the authority conferred upon him by the court. His actions were done with the knowledge and consent of Britney, her court-appointed attorney, and/or the court.
And there you heard it, Kira. As Jamie Spears has done at every step of this legal battle, he's defending his actions as Britney's conservator. But once again, Team Britney is firing back. Her attorney telling us these alleged recordings are a striking example of the deprivation of her civil liberties. He says Jamie Spears has crossed unfathomable lines. You know there will be more to come this Wednesday in that next court hearing, Kira.
All right, we'll follow the hearing with you. Kaylee Hartung, thanks so much. Well, family attorney and former psychologist David Glass joins us now for more on this ongoing saga. David, I'll tell you what, it has been pretty amazing to watch, even here in the halls of the Capitol, all the people rallying for Britney Spears right now. You know, her lawyer, Matthew Rosengart, now calling this surveillance, these allegations of intense surveillance, a shameful violation of her privacy rights. Do you agree with that? And if proven true, do you think that there could be legal consequences here?
Well, you know, Britney's attorney is absolutely right that if this level of surveillance did in fact happen, if there was listening devices in her bedroom, if they were mirroring every single one of her phone calls, that goes beyond the basic necessity for knowing what the conservatee is doing. While a conservatorship is set up for someone who does not know how to handle their life, they don't know how to handle their finances, they don't know how to make medical decisions for them, so someone needs to step in. That level of control is normal in any conservatorship. But what was alleged in this documentary goes so far beyond that line that I think there will be consequences.
So Britney's attorney, as you know, is calling for an investigation. So is this type of surveillance legal in any way under a conservatorship like this?
So under conservatorship, the conservator has a broad range of powers to make decisions for the conservatee, for the person who is suffering from dementia or Alzheimer's, or in this case, some form of mental illness. But in California, at least, in order to tape record any conversation by phone or in person, you need two-party consent. You need both parties to consent to the taping. So typically, the person who wants to tape will say, you realize you're being taped, and the person on the other end will say, I understand that. And it's clear from the documentary that there was not two-party consent here. So although it may have been permissible for the conservatorship to record the conversations that Britney was having, it was not okay for them to be recording the people on the other side of the line.
All right, well, it's going to be interesting to see how this investigation unfolds then. It will go forward. What effect do you think this new documentary is going to have on this case overall?
Well, at every step of the way in this case, the intense public scrutiny that's been brought on just since the spring in this case has helped to move the case forward much more quickly than any other case I've seen in probate court here in Los Angeles in the 25 years I've been out here. So by keeping the pressure on Jamie Spears and trying to show what he may or may not have done wrong has moved this case much more quickly. And this is one more step in that direction. Another level of pressure, another point of leverage to try and convince this judge that the conservatorship should be terminated, and short of that, that Jamie Spears should be removed as the conservator of the estate.
So will you be paying close attention to this hearing on Wednesday? What do you expect? What are you looking for?
Well, yeah, I'll be in the courtroom watching what's going on. But as to what I expect, when COVID started, my wife asked me, how long do you think this is going to last? And I said 3 to 4 weeks. So my predictive acuity maybe isn't as sharp as it should be. But I think what we're going to see on the 29th are 3 things. The court is going to make a decision as to whether Jamie Spears should remain the conservator of the person. Number 2, the court is going to decide whether it should terminate the entire conservatorship. And number 3, the court finally has to take up the issue of attorney's fees. This issue has been pending for maybe 6 to 8 months. Jamie Spears' attorneys haven't been paid in 18 months. Jody Montgomery, the conservator of the person, her attorneys haven't been paid in 18 months. And while the issue of attorney's fees isn't as sexy or potentially interesting as the other things in this case, the court has to get down to business and either approve or tailor the request for attorney's fees.
All right, you going to come back and talk to us then after the hearing, David?
Absolutely. I'll be right back here with you all.
We will see you. David Glass, thanks so much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.